This is my first video, so I'm gonna take it easy on myself. But yeah, I'm Kerry, best in my car. We're in Hawaii, Maui, and I am with the one and only
Deja.
Queen Deja.
Yes, yes, yes.
Give me like a story of like briefly of like how we met and your first experiences and stuff before you came to Maui.
Okay. Well, I met Carrie at this place called the Secret Beach in Minnesota. I wasn't even gonna go to the beach that day, but something told me to go out and have some fun. So I went there with my friends, and we were just talking and just laughing and enjoying each other's company. And out of the blue, here comes this chocolate man right here. He walks up and just starts talking to me and my friends and asking us how our day was and how things were going. And my friends really weren't talking, but I started talking to him. And then the moment we started talking, we just hit it off. And I peeped his necklace he had on. What necklace did you have on?
An ankh.
Yes, an ankh. He had that on. And I started asking him questions, and I was telling him like how our timelines were meant to, connect at this moment, in this present moment, in this time. And I'm glad that I met him, and we exchanged numbers, and after that, it was that. A week later, I was thinking about him at work, and I'm like, wow, that person I met the other week his energy was amazing. He was so sweet, and something just drew me to him. So I texted him, and we met up, and we started hanging out after that, and it went from there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was also like a good, because for me, I think like since I awakened, and it happened in Minnesota, for me it was like I was trying to do a thing where like, yo, I just realized like it's more like Caucasians than melanated people that are tapped in, at least in that city though. So, when it came to like, especially women, melanated queens, I used to, yes, if I saw them anywhere, I'll just talk to them and just start telling them directly, you guys know your queens, right? Like, you really do know your queens. And then those who understand what I was saying, then I followed up the conversation, which was Deja among all our friends. But yeah, man, it was like, it was a beautiful experience, man. I remember you coming, and then we went for like, I think it was the next week, we went for like a walk, like a 30-40 minute walk.
In the park.
Yeah, and then, we spoke about interesting things. And yeah, that conversation was just like so relieving, man, because for me, like you were the first like melanated queen that I'd met. No, actually, that was Elizabeth. But after, you feel me, like that, I'd met and had some serious conversations with. And then I saw synchronizing numbers too when she spoke to me about certain stories, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was telling him about a UFO encounter that I had experienced, and how I would tell people about it and they thought I was crazy, and I told him about it, and then right after I finished telling him the story, he looked and saw a number that 144 that connected to extraterrestrials and things like that. So it was meant for us to have that conversation. It was wild, but
yeah, man. So okay, I guess my next question is, how did you, because right now we're Maui, so like, how did you end up deciding to come? Like, because number one is far away, you're busy with school, you're busy with your children, you're busy working. That's a whole lot, man. So
it is.
what pushed you to like, get out that heavy flow and say, you know what, let me come here and experience this, man. What was that? What was that first? What was it?
You know what? I've been going through a lot lately, dealing with like depression and juggling my kids, work and school, like you just said. And I've been very stressed, and I just left a, abusive relationship. And I just literally, like probably a month ago, I just went in the shower and I cried, and I said, I'm ready to tap back in to my spirituality. I want to get back to my higher self and unlock my chakras, and just get back in tune with myself, because I felt out of touch for a long time, for at least like 2 years, because mind you, I had my awakening in 2019 going to 2020 when COVID happened. So that's when I met my ex, and I got distracted from myself. So I just, again, been out of touch with myself, and I said, I need to get back to me. I need to learn new things about myself. I need to fall back in love with myself. And I think that begins with me getting back into my spirituality. So I've just been having that on my mind. I've been slowly trying to get back into meditating, and I've been catching angel numbers, and just been trying to like uplift myself. And I said, you know what? The person that I know that listens to me and can understand what I'm going through, and who's tapped in himself, was you. And I reached out to you, and I was checking on you, and then one day you could FaceTime me, and it was like, you should come out here. And I'm like, why the fuck not? Why not? What's holding me back here? If I want something to happen, I'm going to make it happen.
Yep.
So I talked to my sister. I got a babysitter. I took off work, even though I just started a new job. I said it doesn't matter. My self-care comes first. I come first. So I requested my time off of work, and I came out here. I booked my ticket, and I told you, we kept talking about it. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you I'm coming out here until the ticket is booked. So I screenshotted it. I sent it to you. I'm like, get ready for these days because I'm coming out here. And I left, and I came, and it was scary because I was going by myself, but yeah, I was excited because it's like, it's the unknown. I don't know what's coming at me, but I know like this is meant to happen, because if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't have worked out.
Was this like your first flight by yourself?
Yes, my first flight. It was from Minnesota to Texas.
Whoa.
2-hour layover there, and then from Texas to here, and that was about an 8-9 hour flight. And I was over water, and it was scary because I looked out the window and I could not tell the difference from the sky and the water. I said, we upside down.
That's actually funny, man.
Are we upside
That's
down? What the hell is going on? It was beautiful though. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw like the sun. It was just bright, no clouds. We were so high up. It was amazing. But I felt safe though, because I knew you were here to meet me, and that you would take care of me. And that's when I texted you. You were like, I'm going to take care of you, Queen. I got you. And that gave me reassurance and a sense of safety and protection. So I was excited to come out here and meet new people and just, try something different and start my healing process.
All right. Consciousness.
Yes.
Right. I'll say this is not something that a lot of people like understand. I mean, being in Maui, Hawaii, and in such places of like high frequency kind of changes that perspective, because anyone that you meet, at least know, they understand that connection to humanity, to the universe, to the earth, and to everything. They understand that each one and all of us are God. At least everyone has that common understanding. Because we got so many like religions out there and stuff, so people are still depending on a Messiah, on a teacher, or something to come forth and help us. Wow, we are those things, So I just want to know, like, what was the transition for you from coming from Minnesota, where like the frequency and vibration was so low and people were not conscious and aware of themselves, to here where like it's just like 80% or 90% of the people you meet truly know that they are one with you and not separate. What was that transition like? What did that do to your mind?
The transition felt like I had a lot on my shoulders and I could finally take it off. Or let me say this, as in I was in a box, right? I've just been in a box moving like this, and when I came here, it was kind of like you guys took the lid, opened the lid for me, and I was like, okay, I can breathe now, because again, a lot of people that I'm surrounded by in my environment back in Minnesota, they're not like-minded. I would consider them to be sheep, They're just going with their everyday routines and not questioning or looking around. Like they just can't wake up when I'm trying to talk to them or be myself, or just like try to educate them or try to help them wake up. They just look at me like I'm crazy or I'm weird. And coming here, and it's just like I can't make you understand. Like I can understand it for you, but I can't make you understand. So coming here, it was like I can just like let my shoulders down and be myself, because everyone around me is like-minded. Everyone was saying hello and just hugging me. Like we were hugging trees on the beach, and the lady came up and just was like, I seen you hugging trees, here's some bubbles, can I give you a hug? Have a beautiful day. Everyone seems to be positive. The energy is just different. The environment is different. Even like the food, everything is just grown, no GMOs added. It's just natural. And it's just you can feel it. You can feel the energy. It's just different here. It's just different. The vibrations are higher. So many people are tapped in. You could just have literally like an intellectual conversation with somebody and just talk. And even if I don't understand, people have no problem with explaining it to me so I can learn and expand my knowledge, you know. And I need to be more, I need to be around more people like that, you know. So it was comforting in a way. You guys opened the lid to the box and I could finally get out and stretch. I would say.
Yeah, that really easy, man, because I feel like for me it was basically kind of like the same thing ish, you know. It's like while I was in Minnesota, you know, that's when my awakening happened. You know, I was in North Dakota, and this is one of my friends, Esther. She really put me on, you know, onto psychedelics and onto, actually my friend Adam had put me onto mushrooms. However, though, Esther kind of like expanded that, you know, with DMT and other stuff. So she put me onto a video, and this video was so simple, by Anthony Browder, and he had like a not like a map, but like he had like a scroll looking, you know, like something like a scroll that just showed like the timeline of everything down to where we are for like I think the past 6,000 years. So when I looked, right, because for me, I don't know why it always felt like the beginning of time. Well, I knew like the science that they gave us, you know, about Homo sapiens and all that, which is all, you know, all lies, or it might not even be our history, to be honest. But yeah, that's the history I was going with. So when Anthony Browder showed the whole thing, I was like, damn, like, so, like we had this technology, we have built this, we're doing all this stuff before like the coming of Christ, and etc. So for me, it was just mind blowing, man. And from that day on, I just felt like, yo, I even made a snap, and I was like, yo, I'm about to be a whole lot of trouble, man.
Okay.
in which I've been, you know. So. Yeah, the thing is, like, the moment I found out, obviously, I think this is something that everyone does. The moment I found out, I went to my family, went to the group chat, like, yo, all the stuff that we've known is a lie, blah, blah, you know, religion is a man-made construct to just have control and power over our minds, you know. We have to tap into our culture, which is our cult of nature, you feel me, or our agriculture and stuff. And you know, my family just all thought that I sounded crazy, man. They just thought like, okay, this boy's lost it. My mom, I was busting into tears.
Yeah.
She said she's gonna pray for me and etc. etc. So yeah, and with my friends back in the mainland in Minnesota, I think like a reason why I appreciate my friends back then, you know, Nabel, Swaggy, Carlos, etc. Even like my former roommate Reese, is the thing is that they may have not really understood, but they loved me. They opened space for love for me to express that anyways. I mean, even though they didn't, I wouldn't have cared, man, because I knew what I felt and I knew what I knew. And the thing is, like, there were times where I tried to force information, but then I realized down the line, like, that's not how it's done, man. In this lifetime, some people would not realize who they are. You feel me? Some people would not find that connection to their own self, and that's okay. That totally is okay, because when you try to force information, you feel me, the only thing I'm doing is repelling them away. Yeah. But I think when you see the way you live, what you do, changes in your life, and you know, like I'll say kind of upgrading, you know, and stuff like that in their eyes, and the changes, then they start to wonder, man. Then they want to ask you questions, then you answer, then they ask you more and more. Then it's like, oh, when are you going to meditate? When are you going to this? When are you going for any of your rituals? When are you going to blah blah? And you know, they might just want to follow you and just see what is it about this guy, but then forcing that information in just literally, you know, makes them bounce off. So yeah, I just kind of dropped that, and whoever gravitated towards me did, whoever didn't did not, and just left the mainland, man. It's like I was already losing a lot of stuff. Like I sold my car, you know, to help my ex pay some of her rent and just all this stuff, man. And I was just losing, like I was losing balance, man, because I'd come to Hawaii and come back to the mainland. So the frequency was just so different, man. My mindset was, I just couldn't do it anymore, man. So everything was sold. I had nothing. I had no attachments to the mainland no more.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
You knew it was your time to go.
Yeah, man. And I really had no money or anything like that. But I was like, man, I'ma just. It doesn't like. I feel like there's so many factors that can hold us back from discovering ourselves, man.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, whether people choose to believe in God or in Christ or any prophet or anything like that, you feel me? I feel like one of the most important things is to have faith.
Yes.
That's it, man, because we are always being guided. So for me, I was like, well, you know, I have nothing. I'm asleep in the van, I'm asleep in a tent in Hawaii, but it was just mainly about discovering myself because I knew who I am. And it's like, if I'm in touch with everything, I'm one with everything, then I can never let myself down. You know, so let's go. And yeah, I'm just kind of glad that, you know, like, I was able to project some stuff on Instagram and talk to you on certain things, and you were able to tap into that and wanting to come. Now, I've been trying to get Deja into psychedelics, okay, into shrooms.
Yeah.
And
For about almost a year.
yeah, for about almost a year. But the thing is, like, there is this such analytical like enigma in our community, in the melanated community, you know, that's like, if you take shrooms, they think you know, you're crazy or something, or I don't really like the word hippie, but stuff like that, man. And it's poisonous to our community, man. And I'm not really gonna explain what it is, you feel me? But you had your first experience with mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms.
Did. Woo!
Yesterday, and please, man, go all out, man. Go all out.
Yeah?
Talk
You
about
may
it.
tell them?
Yeah, and if I
Okay.
feel like I want to add something or ask you more questions, questions, then I'll bring it
Yeah,
up.
go ahead and stop me if you have any questions, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, yesterday, had my first trip on shrooms. It was, I don't even have the words to describe it. It was a beautiful, amazing experience. And I just want to thank you again for even just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I haven't met you, none of this would even be happening right now. And
Thank
I would
you
never
for
have
letting me
this.
show you, man.
Yeah, like, whoa, okay, so it was amazing. I took about 3 and then 8 more and more and more, but when they finally kicked in, Ion,
I am the lion.
we were by the beach, I feel like, when they finally kicked in, and Carrie, I call him Carrie, Ka. Carrie and Ion was by the sand, and I just walked up to the water, and I started playing with the sand with my feet, and it kicked in, and I was looking at the water, and everything was more vivid and real, and I was like looking at my hands, looking at the sky, the sun was setting. It was like something like out of a movie. It was so perfect and beautiful, and I was just looking at the water, and I just started crying. I just started crying and crying, like out of the blue. I couldn't control. I just started crying, and I broke down, and I like kind of put my hands on my knees, kind of just overwhelmed with me crying. And like while I'm looking down and crying, in my head, the water, you know how the water goes up to the shore and goes back and washes up and down. But when I was by the water and I was crying and looking down, it looked like the water was like going around me and crashing right in the middle to where I was standing, like right in the center. It was like whoosh, whoosh. And in my head, I'm like, maybe I'm just overthinking, or maybe I'm just making things up in my head as I'm crying, though. I'm just crying, and as I'm seeing the water crash around me, I'm feeling a sense of it's okay to let everything go. It's okay to let go of the grief, because I lost somebody really close to me 2 years ago to cancer. I felt like he was the love of my life. I lost him to cancer. Something was telling me, let go of that grief, let go of the sadness, the depression, anything you've been holding on to, let it go and release it, and it's okay to start over for new beginnings. And I felt protected. The circle that was going around me, I felt like it was telling me like I was protected, you know. And after I finished crying, I look up, and Carrie's to my left and Ion's to my right. And like I'm just like I open my eyes, I'm just like you know, just like catching my breath, and I just looked to my side, and they were there, and I felt like they were looking at me like, you know, you got this, like you're okay, you know. And after I walked up to them, they're like, I didn't want to get near you or interrupt what you had going on, but they both came to me. It was like the water was making a circle around you, Deja. Like they said, your aura was so powerful. The water, the island sensed it, and it was just going around you. And I'm in my head, I'm like, whoa. So I wasn't making that up. Like, you guys seen it too. I didn't say anything to them. They came to me and said, Deja, the water was making a circle around you. You were in the center. It was just surrounding you. And I'm like, whoa, wow. Like, what the fuck? Like, I had chills, and I started smiling. I was just smiling. I felt happy. I felt like,
13-year-old now.
yes, like my inner child came out, and I was just like healing her and hugging her. I just felt really happy. And after we left the beach, we just went to Lexi's house, and I was in the bathroom on the toilet, and I was just sitting there, and I was staring at the wall, and the wall started moving.
To you, just so like the people understand, especially those who have never tried psychedelics and who think psychedelics are demonic and who think spirituality is demonic and etc. Yada yada yada. To you, what did it mean? Seeing the walls breathe in and out and expand and contract. What did it mean to you? Was it just? What did it mean to you?
It meant that everything around me is alive, and that I just couldn't see it before. I feel like it enhanced. It enhanced more things that's around us that we can't see with just like the naked eye, with being in our normal state. It kind of just enhanced things. So I don't understand. Well, I guess I understand just from like trauma and things getting passed down in the melanated community from just from different things. But like, I don't see why people would be afraid of this. Like, if anything, the melanated community out of anybody needs to take this, because we have so much trauma in our communities, and this can heal us in different ways. Like, I learned that like it actually heals our brain and helps heal like certain cells in our brains and neural systems or whatever. Everything in our brain. It just helps our brain heal any emotional trauma. It helps heal that. And it's like, why would we be afraid of this? We don't need to be afraid of it. And if anything, when I go back home, I'm going to try to educate people on this shit, because we should not be afraid of this. If anything, that's a way to start our healing. There's different ways to start healing in our community, in the melanated community, but this can be a step in a different direction towards healing.
This would definitely, if assuming that was the case, this would be the hugest step that they could take. Because look, it's as simple as, mushrooms are not, like a man-made, product or something. You feel me?
It's grown naturally.
This is something that is grown naturally, comes from earth.
Yes.
Just like smoking cannabis. You feel me? So my thing is like, why are we so scared of something that earth brings forth? We eat fruits, we breathe air, we drink water, and that is essentially the same thing. The thing about mushrooms, right, is that the mushrooms itself, just like everything else, is conscious. It's alive. It knows what it's doing. If you eat any mushrooms, you feel me? You feel like you might have gotten the mushrooms, but the mushrooms came to you. Is that conscious and that alive, man?
Yes.
And then, it's like whenever we eat anything or talk to people, or breathe in certain countries or certain stuff, we are exchanging information. Everything is about exchanging information. Everything. If I eat an apple now and I'm chewing, I'm like, this is sweet, it's kind of crunchy, etc., because information is being exchanged. And then the health benefits of that apple will also interact with my body. So it's the same thing for the mushrooms, man. It's not about the mushrooms really making you like trip and making you go crazy or anything. No, it is just opening up your your car body, your spirit. So your spirit becomes more awake and is able to see and perceive things that you may have not seen on your normal human state.
Yes.
Simple, man. Simple.
Yes. But, and just like, again, like trauma, when you go through so much trauma, the brain buries it in the back so you can forget about it, and it's kind of like protecting you in a way, so it buries all that trauma in the back of your brain. Whereas like when you take shrooms, it kind of like, it can heal all of that, and it can bring it back up to like kind of like seal off the deal, to like finish any healing that you need to do, to like process it and heal it and push it away. It heals the neurotransmitters in your brain and the cells. It's just a beautiful thing to experience, and it makes me kind of sad that my melanated people are like scared of this. And maybe again, that's just from like people making things up about it, or they're hearing like, oh, I heard people be tripping, or they're just making up things in their head with their imagination. I don't know what it is, but we need to take more of this. I highly recommend it. If I can take a big ass bag back with me to Minnesota, I'll go down the street and start passing this shit out. Like, here you go, take this. You need to take this, okay? Seriously. Like, highly recommend, 10 out of 10. And I'm not gonna lie though, just with me, I'm guilty of that. thinking of shrooms like, oh, I'm gonna be tweaking, like, oh no.
Yeah, like first time I told you too.
Yeah, I was like, I said no, Carrie, but I trusted you though, so I'm like, that's what made me consider it, because I trusted you, and I know you would take care of me when I'm taking it for my first time.
Of course, always.
Yeah, but I was scared at first when I first took it, just yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I was a little nervous, but I don't regret it at all. I want to take more. I want more right now. You have more on you?
No, I ain't got.
Oh, okay.
We're
gonna stop because Ion. Yeah. Yeah. It's I highly recommend.
Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, I would say like honestly. Yeah, yesterday was it was a beautiful experience, because the moment we came down from the beach, and went into over Alexi's house, it was like another. There's something I always say, okay? It's like I feel like anytime we get into a certain space, it's for me, how I like to interpret it in my reality, it's another realm. You feel me? Because whatever happens once you open a door and get into that place, whether it be a car or a shop or a house or something, it's a whole different space. So you're in a whole different space in time. So for me, it's like, we came down from Ion's van, got in the house, and we're just vibing and talking. And obviously, my senses were heightened, through the help of these beautiful spirits, these psychedelics. And I was like, man, let me light up some candles, man. Let me bring out some seashells. Let me bring out my statue, Ampu, Anubis, most better known to us people as Anubis. And the space just cultivated in that house was like so, not even powerful, but so harmonious.
Yeah,
it was so harmonious. The music, the melody, everything just felt right into place. So like everyone exactly knew. It's like everyone's soul spoke to each of them, and everyone knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Not to relax, but it was such a wonderful space, man.
Yeah, it was. Ion started doing Reiki on me.
How was the Reiki from Ion?
I felt, so, mind you, before I took the shrooms, when we were in the bathroom, we were reading that book, and I told you, like, I felt pressure right here near again, that environment was really powerful, and Ion did the Reiki, and when he went from top to bottom, I felt a lot of heat right here when he was in this area. And after we finished the Reiki session, I felt lighter, and I asked him, like, what did you sense? He said that he felt a lot of power coming from in this area.
Yeah, like a vortex.
Yes, like a vortex, a lot of power. And I was like, that's crazy, because again, earlier, I felt pressure right here. And I don't know if just from me being here and going to the valley, getting in that water, and it was...
Oh, yeah, valley. Oh.
Yeah, it was just... Just getting in the water from the mountains, and just, I don't know, maybe I just... Again, when I first came here, from now, I raised my vibrations, I cleansed my aura. I don't know if that's why he felt, that power coming from over there, but he did an amazing job. I felt light afterwards. So, thank you, Ion, by the way. So.
Also, it's like, yeah, please. Also for you, just knowing like Maui, the demi-goddess, knowing that she's alive and conscious and she knows everything that goes on, especially with people and people who are tapped into her, who offer her gifts, whether maybe at the beach or any other spot. For you, what is the one thing that you take? What message did she give you? What's the one thing that you take with you for good?
She's telling me to put myself first and to love myself, and it's okay, again, to start over. When I came here, I kept losing things. She took 3 crystals from me. She took my ring from me, and
that's my for you.
Yeah, and I think she was like, I'm gonna take this from you, but I'm gonna give back to you in different ways that you cannot see.
I see.
So I think she gave me a sense of self, and just a reminder that self-love is important, and to put myself first, I think. And that I'm powerful, because again, when I was by that water and it was crashing, I felt powerful, like, whoa, like me just sitting here and these waves coming around me like that, like I felt empowered. I don't know, maybe she just reminded me, like, I'm a beautiful Black goddess, and that I am powerful and the strength is always within me. When I'm down, I just have to activate that and remind myself of who I am
100%.
and to get back up and lift my head up and pick my crown up and to keep going and to not
100%.
ever give up on myself.
That's it, man. I like that, man. Because that's one of the things too. You know, I feel like not even just in our community, but like there's so much like damage, you know, being done just to humanity as a whole, you know, and then you go to so many places and people don't realize the power that they have within themselves. It's like, you know, it's like people go through stuff, because number one, it's like this life that we live is not even real, but it is, in a sense where like it's not real because we are not even really from earth, but you know, and we are not our flesh or bodies, but we are our spirits.
Yes.
Because this body, you know, this vessel, Deja,
Yes.
this vessel Kerry, belongs to earth. And so when it's time for our car body or our spirit body or our light body to depart and go back to where we're from, these bodies will return back to earth, because that is the true honor to Mama Geb or Papa Geb, you know. So I think like this whole journey, the thing that I'm discovering is just like we are going through the process of remembrance.
Yeah.
You see, it's like we are trying to remember who we are, and you know, it's like energy is always being spent. So the thing is like, you know, who can sacrifice certain things for this energy or for this knowledge? Because just like taking this trip or me coming here is not something easy, man. Not something that everyone can do.
Yeah.
Because you think about, oh, I gotta work, I still have to make money, I still have to keep up with this, keep up with this, keep up with this. So you're sacrificing, you know, like now you being here, you sacrifice like time for breathing, time spent with your kids, you know, making money. So there are a couple of things that you have to give,
Yeah.
you know, in order to achieve other things.
Yep.
And this is the thing that some people are scared to do, that scared to take that leap and to just simply discover themselves. That's why people keep on going through cycles of suffering over and over and over again, and go, you know, pray to Jesus and hope that Jesus solves the problem and stuff like that. But internally, it's not that way. Healing is supposed to be done by ourselves. You just like thanking me yesterday and also telling me like, you know, just writing the thread line or the timeline of how you got here. For me was it felt like a life purpose thing, man. It felt like I've achieved, like I've gotten to a checkpoint of my life where I've achieved a certain goal. And to be honest, you know, I just want to say like also thank you for letting me be part of your journey, Queen DejaVu. You know, because at least it's like yeah, it's just I am part of this story now. So it's not just recorded in your mind, but it's recorded, you know, in everyone's mind, whether they may realize it or not. And it's just part of Deja's book now. So for me, it's just a complete honor, man. And it's an honor also to, you know, I'm just glad that you've discovered just the goddess within you, you know. And yeah, man, you know, you also are so powerful, and there are a lot of things that you have that you may not know that I wish I could integrate into myself, or they might come. But everyone is like a reflection of each other. So what I lack, you know, my reflection will have that for me to integrate.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why the the lack mentality I never have, because if I lack something, then my reflection has it. I integrate, you know. So there's a man. I'm really glad you came to Maui. I know you have to leave like in the next like 30 minutes, you know, back to the mainland and all that. But yeah, we'll see, man.
I'll be back.
We'll see. I'm expecting her to be back. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, man.
I'll be back.
We'll
I'm
see how
gonna
it goes.
manifest that. I'm gonna speak it into existence. I'll be back.
But yeah, guys. Yeah, honestly, I've always wanted to kind of like make videos and just, but I don't like putting myself out there. But I guess this is the age and time we are in, and for me, it's just to expand awareness to people who are hurt, who are damaged, who are lost, and who have this sense and the feeling that, you know, there is more, but they just don't know where this more is, you know. And among all, like my purpose, I feel like is healing, you know, and spreading awareness as best as I can. So yeah, I just want people to look at this video and, you know, think about the words that I say, think about the words that she said. You know, I want her experience to be projected so that people think and put themselves in her situation and use their imagination. You know, because we do not sound crazy. I mean, I might sound crazy to some people, to be honest, but it's more of a thing where it's like, what are these people saying? What are these people talking about? Okay, let me give this mushroom a try and see, you know. And I promise you, man, if you're just around the right people,
Yeah.
and if you're around the right environment, and you take this stuff, it's so magical, man. It is a magical herb, and I'm always grateful for it bringing itself to my presence.
Yeah, and it's okay to go outside the box of what you're used to doing, because if you're comfortable with where you're at, you're never gonna grow. You have to sometimes get uncomfortable to experience new things, or you're gonna forever stay in the same place. So if you want to evolve, you gotta get out your comfort zone and just do it. Don't think about it. Just go with your intuition and just do it. So.
All right, Deja. Well, I appreciate you always.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you for recording me.
And yeah,
Interviewing me.
no, I got you. And then I guess I can finally say this. You know, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. If you don't feel like it, I really don't care. I'm just here to spread awareness, man. Either ways. Yeah. Hotep, 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 and it's all love always. Just shout out to everyone, especially to the queens in the world and to the melanated queens in the world. Shout out to all the mothers out there. And yeah, just peace and love from Maui, Hawaii.
Yes, peace and love.
Thanks so much.